What's up, everybody? I'm back, and this is the What the World Needs podcast. And I feel like I've been gone for like 7 years, but it's only been a week. Um, I'm trying to come up with a schedule here, but honestly, if I don't have anything to talk about, I'm not gonna post or just sit here and ramble. Um, I figured I'd take this time to just talk about what I've been up to and what my plans are. I know normally I have like a structure for how I want this to go, but right now I'm just kind of going off the cuff. So I guess I do kind of ramble, but whatever. Somebody asked me to talk about, I guess, high school and college years. So I'm going to talk about that in this podcast. I'm going to talk about what my plans are for music, and just something that happened to me recently and how I've been feeling. So if you're interested, I hope you stick around and stay tuned. But I'm trying to figure out like this fucking thing. Anyway, if you're watching me on YouTube, you can probably see that I'm having some issues right now. If you're listening to me on iTunes or SoundCloud, watch me on YouTube because homie doesn't know what the hell she's doing right now. Anyway, first and foremost, one of my YouTube subscribers on my other channel, my Tori Franco channel, not What the World Needs podcast, the other one, asked me to discuss, I guess, my high school years and my college years. I don't know specifically, but I'll go into, actually, you know what? I'll go into middle school and high school. Right now, I'm actually a college student, for those of you who don't know. So technically, I'm still in my college years, technically. But in middle school, I was a very quiet, overweight kid who was very studious. I love reading, and I think reading was what helped me to excel in school. There's people out there who say, oh, you wanna get smarter, you wanna gain some knowledge, read, and that's actually one of the truest things I've ever heard, because I was just always a bookworm, growing up when I didn't have to be. And as low as third grade, I was winning academic awards, just, for my disposition and how I was as a person, how I treated other people, but for also my academic excellence. So in middle school, obviously that carried over into middle school, and people used to cheat off of me. They used to try. They used to try and peer pressure me into giving them answers because they knew I had the answers. Every subject. I was like, not teacher's pet in an annoying way, but the teachers like felt bad for me because I was literally like hounded by people, and I'm a nice person. So I would always, you know, give in or laugh it off, or, people would be like, come on, give me the answers. So that was middle school. Middle school was the worst because I was bullied, and just feel like kids in middle school, which is it, for those of you who are overseas, I don't know how it works, but in middle school, you're around 12 to 13, or 11 to 13. It's 6th to 8th grade. So you're anywhere from 11 to 13. And something happens once you hit like 7th grade, where you're like 12, 13 years old. Something happens from that point, because kids just turn into fucking ass clowns, like legit. I don't think it was just my generation either. Kids just turn into horrible human beings, and that's actually what happened. Well, to me, I didn't turn into that. It's like a fight for survival, and I was trying to fit in and obviously save myself from humiliation and from bullying. And I got involved with some people who obviously didn't really give a shit about me. They were just, trying to be the tough kids on campus. And I was the brunt of the joke, and I was beaten up. There were times that I would come home with marks on my body, like bleeding, like I was hit with a bracelet, one of those spike bracelets with the spike side down, and I came home bleeding, and my mom, saw the marks on my arm and saw me, the scabs and everything, and was like, what the hell is going on? I would cry every day before going to school because I would dread it. I was kicked and verbally abused, physically abused, just everything. They called me they called me Toro the Bull because I was overweight. I was you go through that awkward phase. I was a very fat kid. I was a fat kid, and they called me Toro the Bull because I was fat. Um and yeah, there was just a lot of torment in middle school. And then I remember from 8th to ninth grade, which is ninth grade is high school. You're about 14 years old at that point. Um, that winter into summer. So winter of 8th grade into summer going into ninth grade, if you're keeping up, I lost like 35 pounds. I made sure, like, I went on this diet. I started exercising like a maniac. I lost all this weight and started feeling really confident about myself. So in high school, my attitude completely changed. I was like, I made a promise to myself that I was not going to allow what happened to me in middle school to happen in high school, because high school is 4 years. You know what I mean? I would not have been able to take 4 years of being tortured. So, and even people in high school that know me just from high school probably have absolutely no idea of the torment that I ensued. Is that the right word? I don't know. The torment that ensued for me in middle school. But either way, I went into high school. I had, all my older friends. That was another thing. I didn't have many friends my age. All my friends were years older. So by the time I was in middle school, they were all in high school. So I finally entered into this school with confidence, knowing that I had a group of people who actually liked me and cared about me and weren't going to bully me. And I felt I belonged to a group, and that gave me a confidence that I hadn't had before. Plus, losing all the weight and feeling good about myself and being who I wanted to be as far as sexuality. I was out of the closet at a very young age. I came out at 13 to my friends, and nobody gave a shit. So I was like this new person. So I came into high school, and high school was amazing for me. I mean, academically, I had put it into my head that you can't be smart and cool. You just can't be smart and popular. If you're smart, you're considered like a geek or a nerd. So in my head, I kept that in the back of my mind. I kept everything that happened to me in middle school in the back of my mind, and I was like, nope, I'm not going out like that again. So I actually dumbed myself down, which I actually regret now. But even dumbing myself down in high school, I still got into like the colleges of my choice. Like I got into this college. It's called CW Post. I got into that out of high school. I got into St. John's University in Queens, New York, right out of high school. Those were the only two schools I applied to, and I got into both of them. Probably not hard to get into them, but considering the fact that by the time I hit high school, it was like my fucking grades plummeted. I didn't apply myself anymore. I skated on by and didn't care. I was cutting class left and right. I just wasn't showing. I think the first week of ninth grade, or maybe the second week of ninth grade, like high school. This is a brand new school. My second week, I cut an entire week of school. Not just a class, not just, 2 classes. I cut school, period. I did not show up to school for an entire week. And on that Friday of that week, my math teacher called my mother to make sure I was okay. And my mother had no idea that I wasn't in school because I was, pretending to leave. And when the bus would come, I'd run the other way. So my mother found out that I hadn't been in school, blasted me, screaming at me, cursing, just up a storm because I hadn't been in school for an entire week. And I was upset. So I came home. This is how much of I wasn't a troublemaker, but I just got into some stupid shit in high school. I came home and I drank a bottle of wine to my face, home alone. Um, if you can imagine, I was going through a depression. I'm not trying to laugh about that, but I was going through a depression at that point. So, like I said, I've always dealt with depression. So this was me, an attempt to like hurt myself, I guess. And I got so wasted. I called my sister, my older sister, and a very good friend, my friend Nicole, came to my house, and they saw how drunk I was at 14 years old. I was so drunk I couldn't even cross my legs. And they tried to sober me up. They tried to feed me bread. And it obviously didn't work. And my mother came home to her drunken 14-year-old daughter. And yeah, I think that at that moment my mother realized two things: that I was a force to be reckoned with. I think she realized that she wasn't messing with bottom of the barrel bullshit. Like, she was messing with somebody who had serious fucking issues at that point. And I think after that I entered into therapy. But yeah, I mean, my high school years were great. I made it a point to, make friends and be outgoing. And I feel like that's where I kind of discovered a part of myself, because I feel like as human beings, we're always discovering ourselves and new things about ourselves, and we're always changing and evolving. But I feel like I had a huge evolution in, going into high school. And my high school years were fun. I was a deviant kid. Or defiant, not deviant. I was a defiant kid, but I was never disrespectful. If I got in trouble, I got in trouble. I dealt with it. I was never, ever insubordinate. When it came to, if teachers would catch me cutting class, or principals would catch me cutting class, and it only happened a couple of times, and I'd get suspended. Like, I would go gracefully. I wasn't one of those kids who talked back to the teachers, or I was very respectful. Teachers loved me. Even then, even me doing the bare minimum, teachers loved me and my personality, because I just always had a good disposition. I always was in a good mood. I was always trying to be funny and happy, and kind of the way I am now, So yeah, that was high school. High school was a trip. Graduation was fun, all of that. So I hope that answers your question about, high school and college. Right, again, college, there's really not much to talk about, because I'm still in college, and I didn't go away to college. I went, I go to a community college right now. So yeah, so that's that. I also, in this podcast, wanted to briefly just talk about what I've been up to and where I'm at right now. And I know a lot of you who follow me on YouTube, my Tori Franco channel. I've kind of been, for the last like 4 or 5 days, I've been MIA, just missing. And the reason for that is there's a couple of reasons. I'm trying to reassess my plan, because I feel like there's an imbalance of the types of videos that I do versus the types of videos that I want to do on the channel. So I do a lot of reaction videos, which I love doing, and I'm going to continue to do them. But at the same time, there are plenty of other video ideas that I haven't been able to execute, because I've just had so much going on, and all of that. So, I want to do covers. I want to do videos of vlogs and just a bunch of stuff. So that's where I've been. Also writing. I've been writing for a bunch of people, and that's taking up a lot of time. And I just feel like every time I like there's just so much that goes on. Like today I had plans to sit down and write for this guy in Germany that I linked up with and I've been working with, and my best friend Jay Cloud called me and he was like, "Yo, there's a show tonight. There's a live band. I want you to meet them because they'll love your stuff, and then you can have connections to a live band whenever you perform." And to me, that's an opportunity. So it's like I have to put it off again. I have to put off writing again to go take care of some other stuff. So yeah. And then getting to Jay Cloud, my best friend, he's just been a huge support system for me, and I am extremely grateful for him. He is an amazing producer, an amazing songwriter, and if you haven't heard of him, go check him out on SoundCloud. It's Clouds24, Clouds 24. He's an amazing best friend, a mentor, just like he's just amazing. He's just an amazing human being, and yeah, I just wanted to shout him out and say, if you're watching this or listening, thank you for everything that you do. And Bobby G, but you guys know Bobby G. Bobby G, you guys have known Bobby G is my fucking my right hand. So yeah, those two dudes, I would fucking kill for them. Anyway, I've been trying to figure out ways to, well, not ways, but trying to set aside time to write for myself. I've been realizing there are people who are taking advantage of me, and I think that it's not their fault. I think it's mine, to be quite honest. I think it's my fault for not setting a precedence, if that's the word, for or setting a standard for what I'm worth, and off the bat in a business engagement, letting people know, like, no, I'm not going to write for you. You're not going to get anything from me until you pay me X amount of money. Because a lot of people I've been writing for, they're just kind of sleeping on me, in one way or another, sleeping on me. And I'm not down with that. And I think I need to get the credit I deserve. I need to get the monetary gain that I deserve, because we all have to eat. We all have to pay bills. So that's where I'm at right now. And I think that ties into self-worth. That ties into self-love. I don't have enough time to seriously go into that. But just know that when things like that happen, if you feel you're being treated unfairly by anybody, whether it's a business engagement, a personal engagement, your family, whatever it is, if you feel like you're being treated unfairly, like somebody is treating you not in the way that they would demand to be treated, just know that it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's not your problem. It's their problem. You know what I mean? They're deflecting their lack of self-worth onto you. But you can't let it affect you in a sense that it affects your self-worth. You know what I mean? So if somebody's treating you, let's say, in a personal relationship, right? Because a lot of you guys don't do music. So I'm going to explain in a way that you can relate. If let's say a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a family member is blocking you out or treating you less than you deserve to be treated, just know that they're not treating you that way because they think that you're unworthy. They're treating you that way either A, because they think they're unworthy and they're afraid to treat you any other way, or just they're treating you that way because they have some things that they have to work out within themselves, um, and they aren't ready to give that part of themselves, if that makes sense. That part that you're expecting of them. So don't get too down about it. Don't kick yourself in the ass about it. Just move on. In the sense that emotionally, don't dwell on it and don't let it ruin your day. You can still keep that person in your life if you choose, but understand that they're in a place that they can't give, for whatever reason, they can't give you what it is you're expecting of them. And that's okay. And that's not their fault. And that's not your fault. So I think that's what we need to remember. And again, it does kind of, the business aspect does tie in. You know, you have to love yourself and love the product that you're putting out, whatever it is. If you're a caterer, like my friend Seth, and you know, you're a cook, or you're making bracelets and putting them out on the internet on Etsy, or you're a musician, you got to set your price and set your standard and execute that, and make sure that people can deliver back. Because if you're just giving to business inquiries and not getting anything back in return, then you're working for free. And I think I'm definitely working on it. When it comes to self-love, that's a battle that I struggle with every single day. But I'm slowly learning that I gotta know my worth and let other people know what the fuck I'm worth. Instead of just, yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, I'll do that for you. Yeah, it's an opportunity. Yeah. Well, what about me? You know, if everybody who comes to me and asks, first of all, you're coming to me and asking me if I can write you a song. So essentially, you need something from me, right? And not to sound arrogant or anything like that, but it's like you're going to Target to buy a microphone. I need a microphone. So Target can provide that. That's what it is. You know, you're going to a chimney cleaner to get your chimney cleaned. The chimney company can provide whatever it is you're looking for. So if somebody's going to come to you and ask you for something, in this case, me, to write a song for them on their track, guess what? You need me. I don't need you. I can find any other producer to get, you know, an instrumental and write the same exact song, and I've literally done it before. I was doing it last night. I wrote a song on one instrumental and then translated that song, that exact song, the exact way it was sang, on my boy J Cloud's beat, and it actually sounds impeccable and amazing. So the moral of the story is, if you're going to come to me and ask me what I can do for you, and I can do something for you, aka I can write you a song, then you're going to have to be also willing to understand that I need to get paid. There needs to be something that has to happen here. So again, it's not all about money, but right now, I quit everything to pursue this dream. And I can't pay my bills with faith. I wish I could, because I'd be the richest person alive, but I can't. You know what I mean? I can't pay my cell phone bill with just unwavering faith. So at this point in the game, if there are people who are reaching out to me and they feel like I can give them something or provide something onto their instrumental or their track that they would be interested in or like, well, then guess what? Before anything is even written, the first thing that's going to be written is a contract about royalties or you know, how it's split, because I'm getting tired of people taking advantage of me. I really am. And if you're watching this and you're one of those people, I'm fucking getting tired of you. Like, I really am getting fucking tired of you. So that's that. That's really all I gotta say. You know, after these next couple songs that I write, I have like one other song that I have to write for somebody else. After that's done, if the price ain't right, if somebody comes to me and asks me to write a song and the price is not where I need it to be, or there is no price, I'm saying no, and I'm taking time to write for myself and for you guys, because that's essentially why I'm here. So that's that. And that's really all I have to say, honestly. That's it. I mean, there's really nothing more. I guess next episode I will probably go more into self-love. I got to prepare more. I think for no preparation, like zero preparation, kind of just going off the cuff. I think this was pretty successful, if you ask me. I had a slight idea of what I wanted to say, so I'm not trying to toot my horn too much right now. But yeah, I think this is episode 6 of the What the World Needs podcast. And I can't believe that. That means for 6 weeks I've been doing this. That's crazy. I'm going to try to keep to a schedule, like Monday or Tuesday post. Somewhere around there. Because I can't keep being all over the place. But anyway, that's that. If you guys have anything that you want me to discuss in the next podcast, I'm definitely going to be going more into self-love and my struggles with it and whatever. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. If you're listening on iTunes, leave some feedback. Even if you think I suck, leave some fucking feedback, because I would appreciate it. And the secret word. I didn't give a secret word last episode, but this is how I know everybody's listened up to this point. The secret word is I got to think about this. The secret word is Barnaby. Barnaby. Barnabee. Barnaby. I don't know. Just came to my head. That's the secret word. So if you listened up to this point, then you'll know the secret word. Anyway, I love you guys very much. Thank you for listening to me speak. Thank you for listening to the What the World Needs podcast. This is episode 6. My name is Tori Franco, and I love you guys. Peace out.